Going to take my neckline and I'm going to measure the full length of my neckline, and then I'm going to measure the length of my back neckline alone. So here I have the measurements for my full neckline, which is 18 cm, and my back neckline, which is 6.5. Now I have my starting point and I am going to mark out my full neckline. Then from the horizontal line, I am going to go over and mark 1 inch upwards. Then I am going to head over and mark the neckline, the back neckline that I measured. Mine is 6.5 cm, so I am going to mark that, and I am also going to mark 1 inch, and I am going to connect them to make a rectangle. I am going to connect the points to make a rectangle. So at the end of my full length, I am going to go up by half an inch, and I am going to use my curve ruler to connect to the back neckline. I am going to go up at the edge by 1 inch, and I am also going to use my curved ruler to connect. But before I do that, I am just making sure that I have the complete neckline, which is correct. So then guys, I am just going to go ahead and slant the tip like that, and I am going to make a curve. This step is totally optional. You can decide to leave it rectangle or straight if you like. You don't have to curve the tip or the edge. Then I am going to go ahead and mark 1 inch at that end. I hope you guys understand the process. It is simple, it is straightforward, and I'm just going to cut out. Then I am going to fold the 1 inch and mark it on the wrong side of my paper. This is going to be my guide for the next step. Then I'm going to place my paper upside down like so, and I am going to trace out the curve line, not all the way to the end, but all the way to that mark. That was why we have that mark, in order to serve as a guide for us. So not all the way to the end, but that mark. Okay, so I am going to go ahead on one end. I am going to mark 2 inch, and on the other end I marked 2.5 inches. But you can decide to make your collar bigger if that is what you want. Just have it in mind that if you make it bigger, like 3 inches or more, then instead of using a straight ruler to connect it like I did right here, you are going to be needing your curved ruler. Okay, so if you want to make your neckline pointy or your collar more pointy, just use your curved ruler instead of your straight. And do not forget guys, we are cutting our interfacing on fold. So guys, here it is. I have cut out and ironed my interfacing on my fabrics. I have my fabrics 2 for each right sides touching each other, as you can see. So then I am going to unpin my collar stands, and the one with the interfacing, I am going to iron the bottom, which does not have the curve, the part of the collar stand which does not have the curve. I am going to iron it up like so. And for my collar itself, I am going to sew right sides facing from one end of the pointy side to the other. Then I am going to notch curves and the corners. I am going to flip to the right side, and I am going to iron to keep everything in place. After ironing guys, I am going to go ahead and top stitch my collar. Okay, so after top stitching, I have already marked my middle point. I am going to place the side of the collar stand that does not have the interfacing down, and the collar itself down, the side that has the interfacing touching the side of the collar stand that has the interfacing. I hope you guys understand. And I'm going to sew. You can set sew individually and not together if that is what you like. So right now I am done sewing. I am just going to trim my seam allowance, and I am going to notch my curves in order to get them lay flat. And I am going to turn my collar stand to the right side, and I am going to iron it in order to keep everything in place. Guys, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. This is part of the video I made for a shirt that I made recently, so feel free to watch the shirt making video and like this video if you're getting value. Okay, so after ironing your collar stand, I went ahead to iron the collar down. I did that off camera. So now I am just going to take my pen and I am going to draw a guide like so, and I am going to fix the collar to the shirt. Okay, I am just notching my midpoint and I am going to attach the collar to my shirt like so. That side that I am attaching to the shirt is the side that does not have the interfacing, so we want to place them right sides facing each other and we want to sew. So after sewing right sides touching each other, I am just going to finish it the normal way that we finish these things, guys. You just put your rough edges into the wrong side and you top stitch in order to close the shorts. It is as simple as that. If there is anything you don't understand, ask me a question and feel free to subscribe for more tips and tricks. See you in my next video.